Good evening. Good evening and welcome, friends, families, and soon-to-be graduates of the class of 2025. The simultaneous pursuit of the best self and the common good. This is the epic endeavor and the worthy challenge that faces each Millbrook student. This is exactly as it should be in a community whose motto is non sibi sed cunctis, not for oneself, but for all. Tonight we gather to honor Millbrook excellence in the class of 2025. We will recognize those six formers whose efforts, performances, and contributions to the greater good have distinguished themselves and their school. Cell phones on silent, please. Let's give our undivided attention to this class and these moments. Underformers, this is a perfect night to set your sights. Before I turn things over to George and Piper, I want to acknowledge the exceptional leadership of the 6 elected prefects from the class of 2025. Please join me on stage, Sadie Wilson, Piper Smith, Skylar Rockwell, Zumana Traore, Sutter Schwartz, George Mendoza. When we play that, get up here, Zoo. This is just like every meeting of the year. You look good. That's unbelievable. When we play that precision game of describing Millbrook in one word, this year I started to say magnanimous, which means of noble mind and heart, because it makes me think of you. Thank you for a wonderful year. Your peers chose you, and we all witnessed you lead with noble minds and noble hearts. We will miss you. Please join me in thanking our prefects one last time. It's now my pleasure to turn to Prefects George Mendoza and Piper Smith to lead the prize night ceremonies.
We want to start off by thanking the parents for the class of 2025 balcony in Schoolhouse. On behalf of the class of 2025, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude to the parents who made the gift possible. Your generosity is not only a beautiful tribute to our time here, but also a lasting contribution to the life of the school.
This space will be a place of connection, conversation, and celebration for years to come. Whether it's meeting for group projects, classes, or simply enjoying a quiet moment between classes. We are so thankful for the way you've helped shape our class legacy and enrich the school community as a whole. Thank you for your collaboration.
And first, presenting the McSweeney Tour Guide Award, Mr. Mark Driscoll.
Created in 1993 in memory of Edward F. McSweeney, Millbrook class of 56, the McSweeney Tour Guide Award recognizes a member of the senior class who has gone above and beyond the call of duty as an ambassador to Millbrook School. It's my pleasure to announce the 2025 McSweeney Award goes to Andre Widmer. Andre is a charismatic, motivated, and intelligent young man whom I've gotten to know quite well through working with him in admissions and through my role as a dorm parent in Case Hall. In fact, Andre gave me my tour when I was interviewing for my job at Millbrook. From the moment I met him, I was struck by his genuine nature and witty remarks. I fondly remember a deep philosophical discussion we had on that tour. It concerned the Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap beef. Do you remember this? We got into it, we really did. And I have to admit, he won the argument and obviously won over this faculty candidate as well. While the class of 2025 has many members who have dedicated much of their free time to engaging with prospective families, Andre has truly exceeded expectations. Yes, he has led our ambassadors in the sheer volume of tours given, hours spent at receptions, and helping behind the scenes in the admissions office. But what truly sets him apart is his authentic nature and deep kindness. Prospective families can sense who is genuine and who is not. When someone is truly themselves, they represent Millbrook in an incredible way, and it opens a door for those on the outside. And that, I believe, makes all the difference. Andre has had an extremely positive impact on the admissions office and the wider school community. He will be dearly missed, and I cannot wait to see where life takes him. Andre, thank you and congratulations.
Presenting the Dean's Prize, Miss Eve Whitehouse.
All right. The Dean's Prize aims to honor those 3- and 4-year seniors who very simply have perfect attendance. I'd like to invite the following 6 formers to the stage. Anel Cabrera, Ranley Cano, come on up, Jennifer Chi, Hannah Crystal, Nicholas Graydon, Abby Hyland, Haley Momgren, George Mendoza, Haley Massard, Emma Salvatore, Piper Smith, Jayla Stever, Evan Sun, Sadie Wilson, and B. Zorab. Yeah, Rose. It's a big group this year. This is harder than it seems, having perfect attendance. Show up, turn it in, turn it up. This is our challenge from our head of school, Mr. Downs, and these students next to me showed up. They all have perfect attendance. There are some excused absences. Human beings get ill, and yet these students do not have a single unexcused absence during their time at Millbrook. If you look at this group of folks, they are people of integrity and discipline. They show up with purpose and intention every day. They're leaders in respective spaces, classrooms, and throughout the community. The first step to being a successful person and leader is to be present and on time. I had a coach who told us all the time, early is on time, and these students made that happen. All of our students here are leaders, and the Dean's team congratulates these 6 formers for doing just that in their time at Millbrook with the gift of a small chapel bell. Thank you and congratulations.
Presenting the 4-year Varsity Letter Awards, followed by the Frederick W. Knutson trophies, Mr. Vincent Soriento.
established by former faculty member James L. Jordy, this award is presented to any four-year student who leathered in the same sport or sports for 4 consecutive years. I am proud to announce that this year there are 20 recipients of this honor. The award is a testament to each student athlete's commitment to the athletic program at Millbrook. Will each of you please come forward when I call your name, and with the audience, please hold their applause until the entire group is on stage. Lily Ainley, field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. Anel Cabrera, softball. Jackson Coleman, soccer and tennis. Charlie Del Vito, volleyball. Nicholas Graydon, cross country. Andreas Grange, tennis. Abby Highland, softball. Cooper McGuire, baseball. Haley Massard, cross country and softball. Emily Morin, ice hockey. Skylar Rockwell, squash. Emma Salvatore, volleyball. Sutter Schwartz, squash and tennis. Piper Smith, soccer, ice hockey, and lacrosse. Jayla Stever, ice hockey. Marvin Sun, cross country. Zumana Traore, basketball. Andre Widmer, soccer and basketball. Sadie Wilson, squash. And Beatrice Zorov, field hockey. The Frederick W. Knutson Trophy is awarded to a sixth form boy and girl who best represent what it means to be the most outstanding athletes in their class. In addition to exhibiting top-notch athletic ability, these students will have shown a commitment to academics, will have played at least 2 varsity sports, and will have demonstrated the integrity, leadership, and character that is fundamental to Millbrook's mission and spirit. Selected by Millbrook's varsity coaching staff, this year's winners of the Frederick W. Knutson Trophy are Sutter Schwartz and Piper Smith. Sutter and Piper, during your time at Millbrook, each of you have embodied the school's motto of non sibi sed cunctus, not for oneself, but for all. You have left each program you've played for better than when you first arrived on campus, but more importantly, you've been great teammates, role models, and leaders in this community, and that is why you share the stage here tonight. Sutter is a 4-year letter winner in both squash and tennis, where he led both teams as a captain and played a number 1 spot on each. When speaking with Sutter's coaches, there are 3 words that they consistently use to describe him. First was leadership. Sutter was the backbone of the squash and tennis programs this year, not just because of his talent, but also because of his willingness to lead, to take risks, to spend time with his teammates, and to make his teammates better. Second, intensity. Sutter is a fiery and intense athlete, and that drives him in every contest when he steps on the court. His squash coach, Tyler Gundrum, said it best. Sutter brought a fire to every match. He competes hard, sharpens his game consistently, and sets the tone for his teammates. Third, maturity. Sutter wasn't always the mature young man you see before you. Instead, he grew as an athlete. He took feedback from his coaches throughout his 4 years here, and he put that feedback into practice. Sutter, we thank you for all you've given to the tennis and squash programs, and we wish you the best of luck at Cornell. Well done. When Piper graduates tomorrow morning, she will have left her mark on 3 different athletic programs: soccer, ice hockey, and lacrosse. And in total, will have earned an impressive 12 varsity letters. If you've ever watched Piper play any of those sports, you will know who she is immediately. First, she stands out simply because of her athleticism. She is a physically talented and intelligent player in all 3 sports. So talented, in fact, that she's been often asked to play multiple positions in those sports. Secondly, you'll notice her determination, her fire, and the intensity that she plays with in every contest. Piper's competitive spirit has allowed her to push through the difficult moments, to never give up, and to consistently strive to create a winning culture. Last but certainly not least, and if you pay very close attention, you'll notice her selfless leadership. In her time here, she has become a selfless leader who put team goals over individual success. As Coach Shapey put it, Piper is a leader by example, constantly showing her teammates what it's like to have goals and how to work towards those goals. Piper, we wish you the very best of luck next year as you head to Plattsburgh State to continue your ice hockey career. Well done.
Presenting the Christian Steele Technical Theater Award and Nathaniel B. Abbott Cup, Mr. Joe Versiti.
This year's Christian Staley Award winner is Lisette Haya. The Christian Staley Award for Excellence in Technical Theater is given in memory of Christian Staley, class of 1991. The winner of this award receives a varsity letter jacket embroidered with their name. A few years ago, Lisette's dad, Rodrigo, rescued me and my family after we hit a pothole that exploded one of our tires. He happened to drive by a few minutes after the accident and went out of his way to make sure we got out of the jam we were in. We didn't know at the time that Lisette would be a Millbrook student just a few months later, but we soon discovered that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in the Haya family. Since arriving at Millbrook, Lisette has gone out of her way to get us out of all sorts of jams. Ms. Lifter describes Lisette as a person who cares deeply about the quality of her work and the relationships she builds with the people around her. She called Lisette the most skilled organizer she has ever encountered, someone who can turn chaos into order while managing a range of personalities. Ms. Lifter went further saying, quote, "She's a fabulous stage manager, assistant, director, and Holbrook tech leader, but most of all, she is a friend to everyone who walks through the doors of the theater and a trusted, caring member of every ensemble she's a part of." Lisette, you've handled your many responsibilities in the theater so well that I'm worried we've been lulled into the false belief that everything running smoothly is normal. The truth is, it takes someone driven and organized to make theater magic feel effortless. Behind-the-scenes work can sometimes go unnoticed, but we want you to know that we noticed what you did for the Millbrook Theater Program, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Lisette, and congratulations. This year's Abbott Cup winner is Chow Nguyen. The Nathaniel B. Abbott Cup is named for Nathaniel Abbott, longtime teacher and administrator at Millbrook School. This prize recognizes students who have helped shape the spirit of the arts at Millbrook. In the weeks leading up to prize night, students tend to ask me questions in search of clues about who will win the Abbott Cup. The question I received most this year was, is it true that the person who wins this award is the one who takes the most art classes? It's a crafty little question, actually. I clarified that since the award recipient is determined by a vote taken by the arts faculty, having positive experiences across many disciplines is likely an advantage, but not a guarantee. It is true that Chow has taken a broad spectrum of arts courses. She's grown tremendously as a dancer, appeared in the musical, rose to the honors level of our drawing and painting track, presented at CES about knitting, and concluded a multi-year stint in Millbrook Singers as the captain of the group. But I think it would be a disservice to Chow to suggest that she is winning this award simply due to the breadth of her arts course load. Chow is an absolute beast in all of the art spaces that she occupies. Through hard work and persistence, Chow has transformed her abilities in several disciplines, but her pursuit of artistic improvement seems driven by something deeper than her own growth. She's motivated to produce work that will delight her audiences. The Millbrook School motto, non sibi sed cunctus, not for oneself but for all, is not just a fancy Latin saying designed to bring gravitas to our wonderful institution. It's a recipe for success. Through her art, Chow has been practicing the act of thinking about other people, and that's been the key to her success. For students in the audience today who hope to one day stand on this stage and receive the Abbott Cup, I encourage you to take a page from Chow's book. Instead of asking yourself, what can I do to win that award? Ask yourself, what can I do to make the experience of my peers and audiences better? Thank you for thinking of other people, Chow. We're proud of you. Congratulations on winning the 2025 Abbott Cup Award.
Thank you. Presenting the English Writing, the English Poetry, and the Poetry Prizes, Mrs. Sophie Kennedy.
Each spring, Millbrook's Poetry Prize challenges members of the English department to select the single strongest poem from submissions sent to us from students across all forms. The English Department Writing Prize is chosen from among portfolio submissions from 6th formers alone. The volume and quality of this year's submissions impressed and inspired the English faculty and made the task of selecting the strongest among them a difficult one. These portfolios represent the breadth and depth of what Millbrook's writers can do. Startling short stories, brilliantly argued and deeply researched essays, and illuminating poetry. Thank you to all of those who shared their excellent work. This year, the recipient of the Millbrook Poetry Prize is also the recipient of the English Department's Writing Prize. As that individual said to me in passing just a few days ago, you all have a lot of very good writers in your grade. So this year's winner is really exceptional. Congratulations, and please join me on the stage, Anel Cabrera. Anel's winning poem, Hand Me Over, stages an encounter between speaker and audience in which the speaker blinks before a microphone, not so much resisting the power of the audience perceptions as suspending it, just long enough for the speaker to do something other than perform. And in that space, with eyes closed, though only for a moment, the speaker wonders after the limits of subjectivity, wanting other possibilities. Tenderly holding the audience at eyelashes length, the speaker asks, what do we do with Sisyphus? What do we do with suffering? Hand Me Over, like so many of Annelle's poems, is a determined and demanding attempt to figure out how to be in a difficult world. Annelle's portfolio is a portrait of a writer committed to the possibilities of unknowing that come through the work of writing. She constantly negotiates and navigates the risks of visibility and permeability, how much to let in, what to let out, for whom, and to what end. Annelle is persistently in pursuit of language that can express our relations, that can make our attachments and conditions legible, accessible, more than just survivable. She writes, lime lemon bath shower, pants short, same thing. The words I don't have just yet, like you are missing from me. We don't yet have the words to express how much we will miss reading your words until you publish your next chapbook, of course. You are a writer, Annelle, so you are doomed to a perpetual state of not yet having the words, of needing more words. All you can do is keep writing. Congratulations, Annelle.
Presenting the Sykes Mathematics Prize, Miss Martha Clisby.
Oops, need these. This year's Sykes Mathematics Prize is awarded to Helen Lee. They say that math puns are the first sign of madness. But if you know Helen, well, you might believe it's true. I am dedicating this speech to Helen's love of math puns. See if you can find them all. Let me begin by saying that Helen is truly someone special. I mean, she's like the square root of -1, you know, like unreal. I see we have some math folks in the audience. More specifically, Helen is an exceptional math student. No one has ever called her average. It would be untrue, and it would also be just plain mean. Helen fears no numbers. Well, no numbers except 7. I don't blame her. I mean, 7, 8, 9. They're all cheesy. She said that's a cheesy one. What math pun isn't cheesy? Helen has missed very few math classes in her Millbrook career, 2% to be exact. It's probably why she's so successful. When you miss too many math classes, it can really add up. I learned early to listen to Helen when she told me I made a mistake. She's like a 90-degree angle. Always right. That's okay. Yeah, that's all right. Even so, she's as humble as an equal sign. She believes she is no greater or lesser than anyone else. This is true. Helen, you have made a real impression on our math program here. You have been integral to the experience of your classmates, and frankly, I'm not certain how we will function without you. Thank you, good luck in your future, and congratulations.
Thank you. Presenting the Clark Language Prize, Ms. Wen.
The Clark Language Prize is given in memory of Margaret and René Clark, French teachers from 1954 to 1973. It is awarded to the graduate or graduates who have demonstrated excellence in modern language in areas that were the hallmark of the Clark's teaching: oral proficiency and cross-cultural understanding. It was first given in 1985. Before announcing this year's recipient, I want to recognize two students who honorable mention, Helen Lee and Hannah Crystal. Both have shown outstanding language proficiency and a deep appreciation for cultural understanding. Now, I'd like to invite Anel Cabrera to join me on stage. I've been in the Millbrook community with Anel for past 4 years, and I watched her grow as both a learner and a leader. The first time she reached out to me as a sophomore about how people of color were represented in books read in English classes. As a junior, she stepped into the role as DEIB leader. This year, at the People of Color Conference, I witnessed her energy, curiosity, and commitment in action. In the World Language Department, Anel is also a leader. She has studied both French and Spanish. Her work effort allowed her to skip levels twice. This year, she did excellent work as teaching assistant in Spanish 4 with Miss Q. As part of AP French, an independent study in Spanish literature, she explored gender, identity, and intersectionality, connecting language learning with social justice issues. Anel, you are a deep thinker. As Ms. Whitehouse says, you are an immeasurable, talented language learner. And in the words of Miss Q, eres la regalo, you are a gift. It's an honor to present you with the Clark Language Prize. You make Millbrook a better place. Congratulations.
Presenting the Frank W. Trevor Cup and the Science Prize, Ms. Carrie Dorr.
Hi, everyone. Each year, the Frank W. Trevor Cup is awarded to a member of the graduating class who's made the most significant contributions through study, project, or zoo work to the natural sciences and environmental stewardship of Millbrook School. None of the faculty or students sitting here tonight will be surprised to hear that this year's Frank W. Trevor Cup is awarded to Jamie Cadis. Jamie is the consummate zooey. We've only been lucky enough to have Jamie as a student here for 3 years, but she's probably spent more time in the facility than almost any other four-year student. The zoo staff shared with me that Jamie has not passed up any zoo-related opportunity that has come her way during her time here. She's been a zoo squatter, a vet shadow, a community service participant, a student curator, and now a head student curator. She has attended the Association of Zoos and Aquariums Advocacy Day, an annual conference, and she's represented the zoo with numerous visiting school groups, and she's been on many animal transports and zoo visits with our zoo staff. The list goes on. While her teachers and friends are going to miss her terribly next year, the individual that might miss Jamie the most is Gus the Galago. Jamie will sit and do homework with him or even craft with him for hours. It takes a special and dedicated kind of person to develop a relationship like that with one of our animals, and it speaks a lot about who Jamie is to her core. I had the pleasure of teaching Jamie in both her science classes this year, Advanced Biology and Independent Science Research. For ISR, Jamie channeled her energy and enthusiasm for the zoo into a year-long research project where she investigated the impact of breeding season separation on our endangered red wolves. Jamie wanted to know how this separation, which was necessary so that we don't have any more pups next year, and because we didn't want to put the female on birth control as an endangered species, she wanted to know how does that impact the animal's behavior and stress. What Jamie probably didn't want to know was how to homogenize frozen wolf feces. They say necessity is the mother of invention. Well, Jamie and the zoo staff invented the pooperator, essentially a mixer on a drill, to help with this necessary evil. And I'll explain why in a moment. In addition to collecting feces for hormone analysis, which she did, Jamie also systematically collected data on the wolf's behavior using our cameras. Then she analyzed the level of hormones in the fecal samples by painstakingly extracting the hormones and then assaying them over about 20 hours in our lab. While there were no significant differences in the wolves' fecal cortisol levels, Jamie's research found that the female wolves had a more significant stress response to the separation, running significantly more than the males and exhibiting significantly higher variability in their hormone levels after the separation. This information can help our zoo and other zoos with red wolves better understand how to manage this critically endangered species. Jamie, thank you so much for everything you've done for our zoo and our community as a whole. Your presence will be greatly missed next year. I'd now like to present the Science Department Award. The Science Prize is awarded to a senior who has demonstrated achievement, curiosity, and creative thinking in exploring scientific concepts, whose enthusiasm has acted as a catalyst in furthering scientific understanding and dialogue, and who clearly strives for excellence in all science disciplines. I'm pleased to announce that the Science Department has selected Jennifer Chi for this prestigious award. Jennifer has excelled in every science course she's taken at Millbrook, with some teachers arguing she's among the best students they've ever taught in their careers. But more importantly, she exemplifies the merits that our department values and our award description states. She constantly exhibits curiosity, enthusiasm, and creativity in her scientific explorations. As her teachers and advisors have noted over and over again through the years, Jennifer's exceptionally self-motivated. She's driven, however, primarily to understand the material and to genuinely learn, rather than just obtain a high letter grade or a high effort score. I am once again lucky enough to have taught Jennifer in both of her science classes this year, Advanced Biology and Independent Science Research. While I taught Advanced Bio in a more straightforward manner, Jennifer found ways to energize us all with her excellent probing questions and engaging presentations, where her genuine thrill for researching and learning about scientific projects shone through. For her final essay project, Jennifer also incorporated her wonderful artistic talents by writing and illustrating a children's book about human evolutionary history from the perspective of a time-traveling alien. It was age-appropriate, funny, beautiful, and full of scientific information. In independent science research, Jennifer's self-motivated and brilliant scientific mind was on full display. Building on work she's done over a number of internships at the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory at Columbia University's Climate School, Jennifer explored the impacts of our zoo pond a likely source of microplastics from the Housatonic watershed, on the abundance of microplastics in zoo animal feces. She incorporated microplastics abundance in otter feces. She compared microplastics abundance in otter feces, as these animals spend a good portion of their day in the overflow of our pond, to those found in wolf feces, as these animals are only exposed to tap water. What was most impressive about Jennifer's research was the attention to detail she showed in her lab work. She had to design an incredibly difficult project, which required hours of lab work. And we also are proud to say that she had the maturity to handle some of the chemicals that we, quite frankly, would not allow a lot of our students to work with. The time-consuming nature of her work prohibited her from having enough samples for statistical significance, but her work shows that the zoo pond is a source of microplastics, and her research offers insights into adjustments that can be made to reduce exposure in our animals as well as our broader community. Jennifer, thank you for the joy and energy you've instilled and brought into the science department at Millbrook School. We can't wait to see what you go on to study in the future, as we're sure you'll go on to improve whatever scientific field you decide to dedicate your life to.
Next up, presenting the Blaine Essay History Prize, Miss Lindsay Peterson.
Each year, the Millbrook History Department awards the Blaine Essay Prize to the senior who writes the best essay in an advanced senior elective. As voted on by the department, here are the finalists and their essay titles. Anel Cabrera, Baddies or Wifeys? Disidentifying Femininity and the Cost to Feminist Unity. Hannah Crystal, The Rise of Influencer Marketing, Reintroducing Competition. Lisette Haya, Climate Refugees, Expanding Global Responsibility in the Era of Environmental Displacement. Kelly Kwok, Culture and Kinship in Economics. Matea Podgorski, The Multifaceted Roots of Religious Extremism, Social, Political, and Psychological Drivers of Scriptural Misinterpretation. And Evan Sun, The Etiology of Attractive Faces in the Mate Selection Process. These finalists embodied exactly what we hope for in these essays. They examined big questions of our time with insightful analysis, made us think, and drew bold conclusions. This year's winner, chosen by our outside reader, Dr. Jennifer Dorsey, Professor of History at Siena College, is Hannah Crystal. Hannah's paper, written for her comparative economics class, focused on influencer marketing. She argues that social media influencers can reintroduce competition into monopolized markets because influencer marketing lowers the barrier to entry, shifts the consumer trust from corporations to individuals, and enables small businesses and startups to have access and thrive. Hannah concludes that by redistributing power from the hands of monopolistic companies, influencer marketing is introducing an aspect of democratization and is the future of digital marketing. The directness of this paper's organization and argumentation made it a very convincing and compelling argument. As Dr. Dorsey said, good writing makes you ask questions. Yes, it provides some answers, but engaging with good writing forces the reader to ask questions to better understand the material and how this new information fits into the understanding of their world and their pre-existing knowledge. Underformers, listen up. This is how you find success in your history classes here at Millbrook and frankly in the rest of your life. As you read, read critically, think critically. Read in order to understand so that you can ask more questions. Throughout her research process, this is what Hannah did with her own sources. You read, you asked questions, you read more, asked more questions, wrote a draft, got feedback, kept researching, and so on and so forth. Hannah, you and the other finalists did not take shortcuts in the writing process. We appreciate your work and are proud of your final essay.
On behalf of the entire history department, congratulations, Hannah.
Presenting the Emily Roosevelt Class of 1987 Public Service Award, Reverend Cam Hardy.
It is said of Emily Roosevelt, Millbrook Class of 1987, that empathy, inquisitiveness, courage, and determination defined her daily life. Her drive to serve took many forms in her professional life as a lawyer and in her private life, most significantly in working with the Department of the Interior for public land issues and as an advocate for organ donors, as she herself was a recipient of a new heart several years ago. When Emily died suddenly in 2010, her parents, Chris and Roddy Roosevelt, determined that the best way to remember Emily is to recognize and encourage inquisitiveness, determination, and public service in students attending Emily's alma mater. The Emily Roosevelt Public Service Prize is awarded by the faculty to a member of the sixth form who best exemplifies public service. This year, we are awarding the prize to 2 members of the class of 2025 for going above and beyond, not only in their outfacing service, but also for modeling in their actions and their voice the building up of a community of compassion, mutual respect, and understanding. Would Kingsley Brown and Lisette Haya please come to the stage? As Michelle Blaney, Kingsley's advisor, describes, over the past decade, Kingsley has dedicated significant time to service in her community and in her time at Millbrook. A child care provider, a Habitat for Humanity builder, open doors shelter volunteer, and childhood hunger relief worker in Connecticut, South Carolina, Appalachia, and New York. Through her church, Kingsley has also been an active volunteer as part of the solution, POTS, in the Bronx, contributing to initiatives combating poverty and hunger, and through her CES, creating a handbook and connection to the director so that Millbrook may continue to serve as she has. As a Millbrook ambassador, she has welcomed prospective families by sharing her experiences and insights. On the Chapel Council, she has led midnight runs, organized clothing drives, and coordinated volunteer opportunities in local food pantries. As a dorm leader in Abbott, she has mentored younger students, offering guidance and emotional support as a wonderful partner between adults and the third form girls. She also is not afraid to use her voice and tell the students when they are not making the best decisions. Additionally, she has been a dedicated yearbook staff member and studer. Kingsley inspires others to find common ground and to act on values, driving us forward, welcoming community participation in our projects and events, and using our own voices in enriching our culture in service to others. Lisette's advisor, her director, Ms. Lifter, observes, when I think of Lisette, I think of Mrs. Keller Coffee saying, I live to serve, LTS. Not as a brag or to toot her own horn, but because Lisette means it, with complete love and devotion to whoever or whatever the thing is she chooses to shine her light on. Lisette is constantly in motion, finding ways to serve this community and other local communities daily. She does not appear to live a day without spontaneously busting out an act of service. She is president and facilitator of her church youth group. Further, she choreographed a routine for her youth group's talent show and helped them raise money to send kids to camp. At that same camp, plans and organizes activities for young girls 3 days a week. She recently offered service to a young mother expecting her third child by cleaning her house and helping her prepare for her new baby. She goes out of her way to pick up a friend who does not have a ride to church on Wednesday nights, so the friend does not feel left out. An example at Millbrook, her ISR project focused on the mental and physical wellness of students of color as it relates to spaces of belonging. As a dorm leader, assistant director, stage manager, Lisette serves with inclusivity and the bigger picture in mind, not for herself, but for all. These are qualities that make for a quiet yet bold future leader who puts others' needs before her own and isn't afraid to fight for ways to make a better community, a better world, or inspire someone to be a better person. Lisette and Kingsley, we thank you for being the still, strong, devoted voices that have broadened our reach both outwardly and inwardly and have been the catalyst for positive change. On behalf of the faculty, I offer you my heartfelt congratulations as recipients of the 2025 Emily Roosevelt Prize for Public Service. Congratulations.
Presenting Senior Honor Roll, Ms. Jarrett Clark.
I will now read the names of all sixth formers who ended the year on honor roll. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing. And audience, I ask that you hold your applause until the end. Roy Ahn, Lily Ainley, Lucy Barron, Liam Blaney, Matilda Blue, Peter Borges, Kingsley Brown, Anel Cabrera, Ronley Cano, Eleanor Chamberlain, Jennifer Chi, Sabrina Chu, Michael Contino, Hannah Crystal, Lucas Dinsmore, Joseph Evangelista, Amadou Fall, Ariana Fernandez, Fifi Ferreira, Jack Ferrantino, Leah Forenbach, Nora Fuld, Chase Garcia, Hutch Gellert, David Gersten, Nicholas Graydon, Andreas Grange, Nadav Hahn, Matt Harrow Saint, Abby Hyland, Molly Jackson, Lisette Haya, Alex Jones, Jamie Cadis, Finley Kennedy, Harper King, Muhammad Kribali, Kelly Kwok, Mary LaFond, Helen Lee, Haley Malmgren, Keely Matthews, George Mendoza, Haley Massard, Chao Nguyen, Caden O'Gorman, Matea Podgorski, Josh Ritter, Sky Rockwell, Emily Rogers, Durkee Rasa, Emma Salvatore, Sophie Schwartz, Sutter Schwartz, Tamara Sadani, Dylan Sigler, Piper Smith, Milo Stevenson, Evan Sun, Marvin Sun, Leo Tatakonda, Arjun Talang, Zumana Traore, Howard Tu, Gavin Erneck, Andre Widmer, Sadie Wilson, and B. Zorb. Congratulations.
Presenting Head of School Merit Awards and the Class of 1978 Award, Mr. John Downs.
The citation for the Head of School Merit Awards reads, "To those seniors whose personal strengths and contributions merit special recognition." I have selected 5 seniors whose range of strength and contributions are worthy and deserving of special recognition. David Ambuel, Jennifer Chi, Lily Grant, Matea Podgorski, and Zumana Traore join me on stage. David, Jennifer, Lily, Matea, Zumana, I see you. My colleagues see you. You deserve this recognition. And let me go really highbrow to express what I think you have in common. One of my favorite quotations, filled with wisdom, Reba McEntire. She says, "To succeed in life, you must have 3 things: a backbone, a funny bone, and a wishbone." That is unflappable determination, a sense of humor to shake things off when things don't go the way that you hoped or expected, and the wherewithal to keep reaching toward your goals and your dreams. In your own styles and own ways, that's what I see in each of you. Thank you for being an inspiration to your peers, to my colleagues, and to me. Congratulations. In 1978, Millbrook was in tough shape. Enrollment was low and morale was even lower. The school desperately needed someone to rise up, to build enthusiasm, to make the best of the situation. And the class of 1978 did just that, and the faculty created this award in their honor, elected by the whole faculty and presented annually to a member of the 6th form. The Class of 1978 Award celebrates that person whose spirit and enthusiasm have significantly enhanced the traditions of Millbrook School. The glue, the heart, the soul, the spirit of the class. This year, the vote was a straight-up tie. The faculty voted a second time to break the proverbial wishbone. And it was as if a neighborhood juicero intervened and we voted a second time. Both students received the same votes twice. On behalf of the full faculty, I'm delighted to present the Class of 1978 Award to George Mendoza and Ranley Cano. What? The kid who does the worm in every assembly? The girls' hockey manager? What is happening to this school? Ranley, yes. You can inspire any lounge of any dormitory to dance. You are unafraid to look silly, to bring energy, to make life a little more fun for all of us. And when you told your story of experiencing Millbrook engage with your father, watching him save the life of a person who was overdosing, and said to the whole community, "My dad is my hero," you captured our hearts. Mrs. Zezzi says that there's never been an athlete as dedicated to the team and self-improvement like you. Your utter transformation, physical, intellectual, spiritual, is evident to all of us, and you have inspired your classmates through your optimism and unrelenting love of life. Colgate University is so fortunate to have you, Ranley, and your classmates and family have every reason to be proud. Congratulations. George, you are omnipresent, ubiquitous, all in, all the time. And I would love to claim credit for Millbrook to say, hey, look at our sense of inclusivity. This boy from Newburgh, San Miguel Academy, too small to row, too big to be a coxswain. He felt totally included here because we're inclusive. And you know what? That would not be entirely true. It's that time of year, sorry. It's you, George. It's you. You manifested what you wanted this community to be, and we have all followed your lead. George, he told me after 1 year here that he wanted to be the head of Millbrook School. And then his advisor, the bearded breakfast man, he said, you know what's even cooler? To be the chair of the board. And coincidentally, Bill Menard, the chair of the board of Millbrook School, is from the class of 1978. And I know that he would gladly hand over the job to you someday, George. Prefect, 2-year dorm leader, head student tutor, admissions ambassador, and so much more. The rambling all-school emails, the loud vocals from the stands, the food club super hypes, the teacher to all the adults of these words like low-key and W-Riz and side quests. And so much, it meant so much to our faculty. Northeastern is lucky to have you next year, George. You are so deserving of this award. Ranley and George, you are our metaphorical jueceros. For most of you who don't know what that is, well, you have something to learn. They fix things. For now, congratulations on the 1978 award. Ranley just whispered to me, I remember getting in trouble. I didn't think it was going to end up like this. Oh, God. All right. Before we close with announcements, I want to ask for your help in wishing farewell and Godspeed to 2 specific members of the Millbrook community who, like the seniors, will leave us at the end of this year, leaving the history department after 20 years to pursue a master's degree in environmental economics, Mr. Trip Powers. And retiring after 35 years as the guiding hand of spiritual life in our community, Cameron Hardy, AKA The Rev. So a few announcements. Faculty and seniors proceed immediately to the chapel for last night's service. Parents, you are cordially invited to a reception with desserts inside of Casertano Hall, our dining hall. Your 6th form children will join you shortly. Underformers, go to your dorms immediately. Public service announcement for tomorrow. If you are eager to reserve seats for tomorrow, please do not rearrange where our students and faculty sit. There really is no bad seat here, and people get a little squat hungry at graduations. So channel our motto, non sibi sed cunctus. You are all invited to join the annual pre-commencement school road run led by Dr. Toussaint. We will gather tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. at the flagpole, and we'll be on our way at 7:30. Runners, joggers, walkers, scooters, bikes, horseback, whatever, you're all welcome. Finally, and most important, Millbrook's 94th commencement exercises will begin tomorrow promptly at 10:55 a.m. Parents, faculty, and friends, please be seated by 10:45. This concludes our program. Thank you.